Coach, you've been in practice for almost a week now. Give us a little of your thoughts for the first 5 practices, and then we'll open up for questions.
Thank you. It is 5 days, right? Yeah, 5 days. So today's number 6, and so the first 4 days, the first 2 are in helmets, and then we got into some pads on Friday and Saturday. They're upper shells, what people call them, and then yesterday we started some situational football as far as getting into some third down, and so I do like our energy that we've shown every day. I think we come with a good attitude. I do think some areas that of improvement are just being consistent throughout the whole of practice. Once it starts getting hot towards the end of practice, you can see some guys lose some focus and things, but that's to be expected when you're your first 5 and you've got a lot of newer guys as well. But I do like the energy. I do like our recall from the summer. As far as most of the team has a good understanding of what we're doing. They've recalled a lot of the information, so I think we're ahead from that standpoint as far as an install. Now, as we get into it, the way our practice is shaped up, we went 4 days we're off, 2 days we're off, 4 days we're off, and then we get into a whole straight week. And so we're into this where we've got to practice today and then we're off a day. I think that helps them get their legs, get their mind where it needs to be from a standpoint of continuing to learn how to get better at each practice. But like the team so far, we got obviously some ways to go, but I do believe we're coming together.
I know you prefer morning workouts, but these afternoon schedules, I don't know, how many have you been in now at this point, and what do you want to see out of the group in these afternoon practices?
So we're in one. We did one yesterday. This will be our second one, and part of that is, one, you get into heat a little bit. When some of the games we're playing, at least early in the season, there's opportunity to have some heat, so that's 1. 2, as of right now on our schedule, we don't have a game before 6 o'clock until November. And obviously we're a morning practice team all year long, and so just trying to get our guys used to that during that time frame a little bit. And one also gives you a chance to walk through when we're doing the heavier install as far as situational football and some of those. It gives us a chance to walk through it prior to, meet on it a bunch, and then go out and perform it. So hopefully from a recall and an understanding, it helps us from there. We'll do that. We'll do that until school starts. I'm used to the morning, so yesterday I was wondering who made this schedule, to be honest with you. But we'll get it figured out here soon and work our way into it a little bit.
Through the first week of camp, what have you been most pleased about with your team, and what's maybe one area that you're trying to focus on moving forward?
I think our conditioning and the speed that we play with, physicality, the first few days has been good, and that's a credit to Coach Scott and the strength staff and getting them ready to go. And I do like that. What was the second part of your question?
What's something that you're focusing on maybe for improvement moving forward?
I think there's a lot there. I think the main thing that you want to see is keeping an intensity when you get tired, when you're going into the Flames quarter and it's been a struggle for 3 quarters, that you still can keep your mind sharp and strong. You're going to get physically tired, but I think the thing that this team's got to realize is learning how to keep an intensity and keep a focus for 4, and that's part of the reason we're changing up the schedule is because, as you guys know, our schedule changes in October, so we're trying to get them used to not being in a routine as much, and so they have to get out of routine and how they respond, and just them understanding how to respond in a good way. And so I think that's the area that I would like to see us continue to take another step with.
What have you seen from the receivers, especially a lot of the new faces so far here in camp?
There's some good things. We've made some. Elijah Cannon's made some nice plays, one-on-one plays. Juju Gray can really go. I mean, he can go. I think there's consistency that needs to happen there. Most of those guys that we brought in, relatively new. Most of them just got here in the summer, right? So their knowledge of where offensively is not where other people is, and they've got to make that up. And I think a lot is new to them, thinking, okay, I did it this time. We got a new formation. You can still see they're thinking a little bit, but from an athletic standpoint, they've been able to make some plays out there. There's got to be consistency from them. I do like our young receivers. John Montero, Eric Smith have done a nice job. I think they've got a chance to do some good things down the line here. But our guys that are returning have not missed a step, that were either here in the spring or with us, last year. They've done a nice job of helping those newer people take steps. But we need to be consistent when the plays need to be done.
Aaron Bedgood was so dynamic a season ago. Is there a guy that can slot into that role, or was he just unique in that he could kind of play that running back receiver?
Aaron was special from a standpoint. He could run routes and he could catch well enough, but he was a tough guy, and so he was willing to play some running back and go up there and block somebody and all that. I think we have athletic talent to replace that position. Whether we have the mindset that Aaron had, that remains to be seen. I think that was to me, it was the competitive advantage that Aaron had, is he did have a great mindset. He didn't care what you asked him to do. I mean, he was selling insurance and he got to play football, right? And so he loved it. These other guys have been playing football their whole life, and so they're all, hey, and so I think we've got some guys that could fill that role. It remains to be seen how much yet, and are they willing to do some of that other stuff that's not as cute or get your name in the book, so to speak.
Vaughn Blue, one of the leading candidates there, probably.
Vaughn's more of a true running back. Aaron could be a little. When Aaron was here, Aaron was a little bit. He could do well enough at both. Vaughn's more of a running back. Vaughn can run some routes, but we're not asking him to run everything. I think the guys that you would love to see take that step would be a Justin Gray, Juju, a Darius Copeland, who has really turned some heads early in camp, and then as a freshman like an Eric Smith. Those are the body types who you'd love to see doing that. The mentality has to come with that. I think that's where we got to see if one of them we're going to have that to be able to let's say grow that package the way it could potentially help you.
When you mentioned Aaron Bedgood and what he brought to the positions that he played, going a step further, who else on this team have you identified, maybe not at his position, but guys that can fill that void of maybe they're stars, maybe they're not, but guys whose intensity is high all the time, who bring the intangible qualities that can help this team battle through potential slumps in camp, and more so being able to battle in, like you said, it gets rough in the first 3 quarters of a game and you still have to bring it in the fourth quarter?
Well, that's a good question. I'm going to have to think a little bit here. That's not a star of the team, huh? So,
I mean, it could be, but
yeah, I'm trying to think through it. You asked me along there. Can I refrain on that and give us a few more days? I've got a couple people that in mind, but we've really not hit a lot enough to see where that's going to be yet. Early on when you're first 4 or 5, your first 2 you're in helmets. You're not. It's like us going out there and doing something, right? And then the next couple here, they're getting used to it. So next time I'm here, ask me that question again, and I'll give you an answer.
What position group?
Get a politician to answer it.
Yeah. What position group have you seen the most competition?
I would say I think our linebackers and I would say our secondary, specifically probably safety. I think we've got from a safety and linebackers. There's probably 6 guys that have a chance to play at some point there, and not just games out of hand or this or that. I think they can play a role, that have some type of role on the team. That would be good. And then I think in the secondary, from a safety position, we got a lot of guys there that have ability to play in this league. I think the key is going to be there is just who's consistent. But I think there's a lot of depth there and a lot of competition, which is good. But I don't think they can find a role to play. And the key is, going back to your question, will they be the star in their role, right? Not everybody can be a star. But if they can star in their role, then we got a chance to, have a good team. And that's what we have to do as coaches to get our team to understand a little bit. Say, you want to be a starter, but you're not there yet, but you can star in this role that you have. And if you do, then good things will happen for us.
How much have you tuned into the kicking game here these first few days, and how much you kind of keep?
Not a fan of kickers, just in general, and so. But I've tried really hard, and tried's a bad word. It's like hey, I'm trying to lose weight. That means I'm just going to go eat whatever. I need to commit. But we had a really good day yesterday. As far as we had field goal competition, and I don't think we missed one. Now the day before, we didn't even know what an upright looked like. So there needs to be some more consistency. I think Max Morgan has started off camp really well as far as punting. He's obviously somebody that did it last year, and he's our holder, he's our punter, and he's kicked off for us well. So I've liked what we've seen of him there. I think with our kickers, we've got a battle there, 3 or 4 guys, and somebody needs to take a hold of it and just have consistent days. And so they all, to their credit, have been working hard. And I'm probably harder on them than other things. I don't know why. Probably because I don't like kickers. But they've worked hard. They have, and I'll give them credit. They come out every day, and there's a battle going on, and they know it, but they don't let that affect them. So hopefully, as I said, over the next 20 practices, we'll have somebody say, hey, this is our guy that we can count on. They'll go out there. Not gonna make them all, but we just know that when he goes out there, there's a good chance that he's gonna be consistent what we need him to do. I do like kickers. I just don't like how they miss kicks.
All right, time for one more.
I don't want any moms comment. I love all you kids. I love them. They're all good people.
If you were able to highlight maybe 1 or 2 people on each side of the ball that's pleasantly surprised you or impressed you so far during camp, who would that be?
Offensively, I would say Darius Copeland. Darius we signed last year, and he tore an ACL in high school. And so he tore it late, and so he was just sort of out there, and we were looking for a receiver. We knew about him early on, and then he got here last year, and his knee was still trying to rehab through it, and made some progress through the spring. But he's looked really good the first few days and through summer and all that, and just making plays and just attitude and everything. So he's been a pleasant surprise. We thought he would be a good player. I did not think he would be where he's at currently right now. So I like what we've seen from him. And then defensively, I would say there's a couple on my mind here. I'm trying to pick which one I think is more worthy currently. Aiden Vaughn has made some good strides for us at linebacker. That's a position of need, as you know, from a depth and loss, and really pleased with where he came from the spring till now, and he's somebody that we believe that we can rely on that can play there. So he's done a nice job for us.